Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nadia from Institute of Technology Bandung. Today, I would be presenting about my paper, which is Understanding Generation Z's Purchase Intention Towards Green Skincare Product in Kingston upon Hull, United Kingdom. So, the first one, I would like to introduce about the research background. Basically, the global skincare market is expected to grow to 179 billion US dollar by 2022. And the skincare industry is also now becoming more aware of the environmental and ethical problem that they might face while doing the business processes. So they have introduced a new term which is called the green skincare that depicts a skincare item that is harmless to the ecosystem through their production practices or packaging method. And furthermore, in this globalized era, the skincare industry is now also dominated by the newest generation, which is also known as the Generation Z, as they have received more education and accessible information around the product knowledge about the environmental problem and the green skincare business itself. The problem arises as to the global market share of the green skincare products can only reach 3.80% of the global market share of the whole skincare market itself. And most of the purchaser of the green skincare products are coming from Generation Y, not from the Generation Z. The question arises as to why the education received by Generation Z in regard to taking care of the environment does not align with the action taken they supposed to take. So, the rationale of this paper is that the finding from the research is aimed to improve the conversion of Generation Z's purchase intention to actually buying the product. And it helps the green skincare businesses that want to shift their target market from Generation Y to Generation Z, or they want to open a new green skincare business that target the Generation Z. So this research has four different research questions. The first one is how does the awareness of Generation Z towards green skincare products affect their purchase intention? Second one is that what are the key factors that affect Generation Z purchase intention towards green skincare products? Third one is that what are the differences between Generation Z and Generation Y purchase intention towards a green skincare product? And the last one is to what extent Generation Z's purchase intention towards green skincare businesses enhance their probability of buying their products. So it also comes. This paper also come with a four research objective. The first one is to know how well educated and well informed Generation Z about the green skincare business. Second one is the key factor that affect Generation Z's purchase intention towards green skincare products. Third one is to know the difference between Generation Z and Generation Y purchase intention towards green skincare product. And last one is to know the probability of buying green skincare product. So the literature review. The variables we have two dependent variables, which are the altruistic motivation and safety value that is connected to independent variable, which is the attitude variable, subjective norms, perceived behavior control, price consciousness, product knowledge, and purchase intention. In this paper, I combine the TPB theory by the findings of this research. Here is the some of the explanation of what is altruistic motivation, safety value, and attitude. So basically, altruistic motivation is how can someone perceive something or taking some action without thinking about the benefit that they would get. And the safety value is basically how does the green skincare can enhance the safety for their skin itself. And the attitude is a belief that has either positive or negative evaluation towards a particular behavior. Um, next, next is the subjective norm. How does this green skincare support positive association between subjective normative concept and the behavioral intention when purchasing a skincare product? Perceived behavioral control is that how does the consumer aware that they have more control over purchasing natural skincare product. Price consciousness is of course how does the consumer well aware of the price that they are willing to pay because of the premium price that green skincare might offer. The product knowledge is the How does the consumer know, well aware of the knowledge of the information of the product itself? Environmental concern is how does the consumer believe the use of organic cosmetic would have them to save the environment? And of course, the purchase intention itself is the willingness of the customer to purchase goods or services to satisfy needs or fulfill their wants. So, as I mentioned before, here's the conceptual framework. Altruistic motivation and safety value is the dependent variables of the attitude value variable. And attitude, subjective norms, perceived behavior control, price consciousness, product knowledge, environmental concerns are the independent variables towards the purchase intention. So in this paper, I used a mixed method approach because it combines the qualitative and the quantitative approach. So I adopted the philosophy of pragmatism with an adaptive approach. This approach is most commonly used by the management researcher as it combines both deductive and inductive approaches. So it allows the researcher to actually review again about the variables and the findings that they have found during the research process. So the qualitative method, I am using the semi-structured interview with 10 respondents, and the data processor that I use is the NVivo with the method of open coding. So the population ensemble is basically I gather um, 10 respondents coming from Generation Z and Generation Y in Kingston upon Hull that like skincare, who have been using green skincare for the past year, and or people who have not been using green skincare for the past year. So the strength is that of the qualitative method is that it allows the participant to choose their time of the interview, so it creates more comfortable space for them to actually answer the question. And second one is can be carefully prepared, such as we can actually send them the pre-interview context and the consent letter, so they know what they would face on the day of the interview. The weaknesses are the time management and reading the result and transcript it. And the quantitative method, here I gathered 160 respondents with the method of the questionnaire with the data processes of Smart PLS. So this is also coming from the Generation Z and Generation Y. But in this quantitative method, because I would like to validate the qualitative result, so it is more shortened. People who like skincare and who have been using green skincare for the past year. So the strength is that the answers are automatically coded, easier to reach out to wider audience, and it takes shorter time. However, the weaknesses is that the researcher cannot ask further question, cannot clarify further question, and it doesn't always apply to the general population. And then ethical consideration while processing this research is here. And then limitation, we have a limited time and also the limited number of interviewees and respondents, so it cannot generalize the whole population of the green skincare user in Kingston upon Hull. So we're moving on to the result. Here is the data analysis of the qualitative data. So here in these probability of buying green skincare, I divided into two, so advantages and disadvantages. The highest score for the advantages, it is more safe, which is associated with the safety value. And then the highest disadvantage is that it's expensive, which is associated with the price consciousness. And key factors affecting purchase intention, we have price range, product knowledge, safer, environmental friendly, review, and personal preference. This result later on added to the variables of the newest variable to adding in the method of the TPP theory. So that's why there are new variables introduced in this paper. While analyzing the data for the qualitative data, here I found that the generation Y is they do not more aware of the existence of the green skincare product. However, they are more willing to buy green skincare product after we have introduced the term itself. While it is vice versa with the Generation Z, as they are more aware due to the accessible information. However, they are not more willing to buy the products because of the limitation of the economy itself. So we move on to the data analysis of the quantitative data. So here is the demographic of the demographic of the respondent itself. So after doing some thorough analysis using the smart PLS, it comes with the result that um, the hypothesis of the product knowledge is rejected, whilst the other hypothesis is accepted. So, with the validity and reliability test, it has also been conducted to ensure this to ensure that this result is reliable and valid. So, Wong has noted when using smart PLS, inner and outer model of structural path using T statistic is used to test whether the variables of the framework is acceptable or unacceptable. So yeah, in this case, product knowledge variables unacceptable while the other are acceptable. And then we move on to the conclusion. So we can conclude here that all of the variable is accepted except the product knowledge. So this might be because of there are certain like false advertisement or false information, false product knowledge that is promoted in the advertisement or even in the product itself, that it makes Generation Z's becoming they don't trust they don't trust the company about receiving the product information. So the product knowledge itself doesn't really affect their intention towards a green towards purchasing intention towards green skincare product. So 50% of the total interviews have confirmed they are well aware of these green skincare products, which answer the first question. This is mainly due to the accessible information they could get from the internet about the benefits of green skincare of their skin and environment. However, it is also found by the researcher the product knowledge of green skincare product um, it doesn't affect the purchase intention. And the key factors is that altruistic motivation, safety value towards attitude and towards purchasing green skincare, subjective norms, perceived behavior control, price conscious, and environmental concern can affect purchase intention towards green skincare product. And the main fundamental difference between Generation Z and Generation Y purchase lies in the price consciousness. So, Generation Y is basically more economically active just because they are already in a stage of life that they could work and they could earn more money, while Generation Z is basically they are people consisting coming from high schoolers up to the university students. So most of them they are not in the economically active age right now as they are still pursuing their education. So thank you very much for having me here, and thank you so much for listening to my paper. Thank you.